to get you here quickly. You should start from here and let us take care of everything in between. Flextronics SBS, innovative manufacturing services.
Hello, I'm Philip Stoten. I'm here at Electronica 2012 and I'm joined by Bob Pitchford from SMS Electronics. Bob, thanks for coming by to chat. New logo, new branding. Tell me what that means in real terms rather than just colours and fonts for the customer.
Yeah, I think that obviously you're right. Most people see it within our industry as being new colours and new fonts, but what it's giving us the opportunity to do is actually to pull the two sides of the business together. SMS Electronics, as you know, and we've spoken about before, a very successful business in contract manufacturing. But we've always had a second string to our bow, a second part of our business, which has been product services. This is our division that's able to take product out of the field, supply a warranty service to it, and then do some renewal of the product all the way through to the disposal.
Right.
So in order to be able to bring the two pieces of business, it made sense to do that by a rebranding process.
Yeah.
So under one umbrella now, it appears to the market in general that we are one business and not two separate entities.
Okay. And those product services you were supplying separately, were you supplying them to non-EMS customers as well? How did that mix work?
Yeah, it's a strange world in product services, because we do take in product that we've not touched in the electronic side of our business, coming into product services for repair. It can be reprogramming. We've got customers that use that service who have provided us with test equipment.
Right.
Completely separately from the electronics side. So we will test it, we'll repackage it. We work with local companies in the Nottingham and Derby area who can help us with repackaging for plastics, renewal of logos and printing on a customer's product, and then package it and from a global logistics standpoint, ship it anywhere in the world. So it is a strange anomaly, you're absolutely right.
And do you think sometimes we miss a trick calling ourselves EMS, Electronic Manufacturing Services? Because to me, even if it didn't have electronics in, I'm pretty sure you could do a great job with it. The PCBA thing is a little bit me too. You know, we know how to do that. We can do that. That's kind of core to our business. But we're really adding value around that process.
Well, I agree. I mean, I can give you, without sort of citing the customer's name, an example whereby we were approached by a large supermarket chain in the UK who were having difficulties with programming and maintaining activity on one of the handheld devices that's used in a supermarket. We've all seen the girls are going around with it, and it's doing a barcode reading, it's stock checking, it can be a telephone. But these things get dropped, mishandled, misused and abused from the point of view they never get recharged.
Right.
So here's something that you would not even think would re-enter an electronics environment, but it leaves itself wide open for a product services application of taking it and refurbishing it and bringing it back into the marketplace.
Okay.
We have another customer who has a mechanical product. There's not actually one electronic element in this product, but because of the nature of where it's used, that needs to come back in for new bearings, new spindles, new elements to that, and it will go back into a mechanical environment. So you're absolutely right. It's not always electronics that breeds electronics. It can have a mechanical element to that.
And the two skill sets in these organisations, the supply chain management, the process management, they overlap pretty well, and that's something you've shared within the two groups already?
It is. I like to believe that skill is skill. If we have some very skillful people who are able to manufacture and produce circuit boards, it's not a quantum leap to take that same skill and that precision and take it into a slightly separate environment. What we want to do at SMS is deliver quality, reliability, and do it in a cost-effective way. Whether we're doing that from an electronics building of a board, through prototyping, through sourcing, box building out of the door, or whether we're doing it by bringing something back in and renewing it, or taking the responsibility of end-of-life responsibility and using our accreditation to strip down the product and return it into the life cycle approach. when you've got a good skill set, they're able to
Yeah.
touch each element of that business and do a professional job.
Yeah, and do each one successfully.
Yeah.
And with that kind of change in the mix of the business, and the change of the mix we see already in Europe of kind of ultra high mix manufacturing, are you seeing more build to order, configure to order kind of products? So, you know, you're actually having to configure in a different way for shipments and fulfillment?
I think that what we are seeing is that a lot of customers want to reduce the amount of inventory that they have. Why wouldn't they? So to the point of saying, I used to order 1,000 because I knew that I'd have 900 in stock and I could feed those out into their supply chain. Now we have them coming and saying, right, we're going to schedule a production and we want to reduce the amount of work in progress and the amount of inventory to a much lower level. And that produces its own challenges, because when we step backwards and go to our supply chain and we go to the component suppliers, the printed circuit board suppliers, that's a different dynamic from them, particularly more so for the board manufacturers, the circuit board manufacturers. They want to produce in millions, they don't want to produce in hundreds, and they're having to reconfigure their business to suit this new environment.
Yeah, and that's all about communication up and down the supply chain. You're getting forecasts and then you're reflecting those forecasts through. And your business seems to have gone from strength to strength. It's grown through this rebranding, and you're in the UK, which is perhaps not the most expensive labour costs in Europe, but it's up there. What do you attribute your success to? Is it driving labour costs out? Is it lean manufacturing, or is it just picking the right customers and the right kind of work?
I'd actually be sitting here now saying yes, and to that. I think that what we have done, because SMS, as you know, is a privately owned business. In fact, we just on Sunday celebrated 10 years of it going into private ownership, is that there's been a good investment, a strong investment in state-of-the-art equipment.
Right.
So you're not driving out labour costs or driving down labour costs by being unfair to your employees. In fact, we've been the opposite. When we have a skill set, we pay for the skill set, but we complement that by state-of-the-art equipment that's able to produce product at a very competitive rate.
Right.
We know from our own experience in this market, if you've got a piece of placement equipment, it doesn't really matter where in the world you're running it, it is that piece of placement equipment. If then you've got a good, highly qualified staff who make sure that your first time pass rate and your yield rates are very high, that drives down cost in itself.
And then the labour element of it becomes small enough that it doesn't really impact on the overall package. And continued growth, what's next for SMS?
What's next is obviously one of the reasons that we're here. You and I spoke at SMT Nuremberg, which was a very successful show for us. We're coming here to continue our exposure into offshore markets. So, you know, in the UK we are insular, you're right. We are in a position whereby a lot of customers that we deal with are now coming from Europe and coming from North America as well.
Right.
So I would say that our growth will be by continuing to develop existing customers and hoping to be able to pull in more business from them, but looking to offshore markets. We have a lot to offer in the UK from a manufacturing standpoint, and I think that we need to develop that and to bring new customers into the UK to help that business.
Okay, and the kind of people you've seen here today at the trade show from all over Europe?
They really are. I mean, we had our first customer on the stand, which was really quite amusing. He walked up and started to speak in very broken German and then stumbled, and I find out he's from Australia.
Okay.
So I mean, that was quite ironic. But I do find that these international shows are truly international. It's not a regional show here. We've had customers in from India and Pakistan as well as Germany and the Ukraine. So it is generally looking across all market sectors, which is good. And technology from surface mount through to through hole. Yeah,
and if you can make it well, make it competitively and deliver it economically to your customer's customer, then it all starts to make sense.
Absolutely.
Bob, thanks for your time.
My pleasure.
Always a pleasure to chat. Good luck over the coming months, and I look forward to speaking again soon.
Thanks very much, Ian.